If you check my channel, Atom of Language, you'll actually see foreign languages respawn to my living once. So I'll start off doing a demonstration proving that bonded to me, and sometime in my life I'll convince the other characters in the story to do it as well. I think it would be fun for the future of cosplay or whatever to dress the part, maybe do something special for the authors that would get paid for it or something. They need more attention, and the amount of books in the store really is nothing like it used to be. So starting with the map, let's look at the map of the world of Krynn. The story starts at the inn of the last home in Solace, which I believe is Utah. Whenever I left Utah, I would miss the spicy potatoes served at the House of Tibet. If you live in Solace or Utah, the closest place to get a keg would be Zach Saroff. Wouldn't that have been their first adventure? So the ruins of Zach Saroff, which seems to be a funny combination of Zach Morris and Sarah from the Labyrinth. Because of going down on the pot or through the tunnel into the pillows of feathers, it kind of represents to the subconscious mind getting into trouble or going through the party, the forbidden party, where the Goblin King might be found. This is especially funny because of Egyptian. The letter T could be like gifting. The letter S is measuring what enters a body for the Dead Sea Scroll. So Tarsus would be Hollywood, which is funny because it used to be much better than it is now. It's kind of in ruins now. And then it has the word tar in it, which kind of explains part of the problems and reason. So the ice wall would be the Mexican border. There's ice along the border. That makes sense. Qualinesti would be Las Vegas. And now let me explain this with the elves. The reason an adult would pull on a kid's ears when being mean to bugs is because they can't explain to the child what they did that's so bad without waking them up to the sounds of nature. That could be kind of cruel, especially if the bugs are chanting something really evil because of what the kids did. But once they catch on to why their ears were grabbed, they would know, oh, it was because I was mean to the bugs and it was messing up the sounds of nature. Now, if you've ever been to Las Vegas, you would know that there are cockroaches and bugs outside literally everywhere, and sometimes the locusts come in and actually cover the place, so it might be impossible for people not to kill a bug. Now, Krynn, to the subconscious mind of the author, is kind of like America. It really makes sense once you see that. They were probably just relaxed and, not really thinking about it, just using their imagination and not only responding to the audience, but just going along with what was familiar, and without knowing it, what was helpful to the people that were coming across them. So Palanthus would be Seattle. This makes most sense with the Tower of High Sorcery. Kurt Cobain would be the wizard that impaled himself on the fence of the Shoaikan Grove. Which makes a lot of sense. He killed himself, and then the grove is called Shoaikan, kind of. Not really called that, but it's a funny way to say the name. And that protects the Tower of High Sorcery that Raistlin stays in, and that's what Palanthus is mostly known for. The Northern Wastes would be Canada. Don't leave. Urgoth, and that's like beyond the coasts of California, so it's like the author's minds must have known they have to come up with something that's fake at that point. Their subconscious mind would have known it's not going to fit anything, and so they were like trying to come up with the most random stuff that wasn't real. But still, to the subconscious mind of the authors, it's still going to be kind of like Hawaii, and they have a meeting for all the world to go to, because hasn't everybody been to Hawaii or wants to go to Hawaii? And then there's no goth found in that direction. I'm talking about the goth clubs or goth sing. And that's why the name is really funny, because the letter E and the letter R is like, where are you headed? And then goth is found in the word. Sylvanesti would be the South. And everybody knows that the South is filled with a lot of bugs. So, of course, those people are going to be elves, just like the people of Las Vegas, which means it's impossible to live there without killing a bug. It might also mean to the subconscious mind of the author that we need to work on it more in regards to the sounds of nature. That's part of the reason I created my website, The Tweeting 20s, so people can report where that's actually happening, and artists can do things with their timing and their minds that actually fixes the sounds of nature. I've been able to do this very heavily in Utah and Portland and California. I changed the birds from being abusive to being nice. Everybody would have noticed this change, and it was because of making music with them. When they introduce themselves At the start of the Tweeting 20s, they were extremely abusive. The birds were. They went down chimneys. And they were having meetings. They were just like people. And they were plotting against us. And they would line people up to do things like hurt other people. They have done this. They are actually extremely dangerous. They have told little girls that they're fat and stuff like that. They have done this. So it's really important to wake people up to this and fix the sounds of nature by making music with them and stuff like that. Since we are heavier, they will pick up their personality and what they're like from us in our direction. It might be true that all of humanity will synchronize to help fix the sounds of nature. What a person does in their life echoes into their childhood. So enjoying the Game of Thrones in the future would go back in time creating the Dragonlance. So kender are created from tar or opiates. I first caught onto this from my friend's name having the word kender in it. In the Game of Thrones, there's an ice wall breach at the end, and Jon Snow was sent to the north to guard it. This is why kender more would be found in Canada, because it represents illegal drugs leaking into that country from New York City area. Istar would be New York City. The word Nordmar is asking Americans not to be bad to Canada. The letters R together has meant pirate or chaotic. So having two A's with the R is placing emphasis on caring about it. One of the most interesting things when measuring the subconscious minds of people would be how they're always following Egyptian, as if previous lives we lived are always echoing here. Now the word mythos is not too far from Maine. There's going to be a small connection there. The ogre and the minotaurs are from mythos. When you think of that in our subconscious mind, it's usually, witch hunting, witch burning. So naturally, the races from that area may not be as loved in the rest of the world. Solamnia would be Nevada. Because of our love for the night when we were there. And Naraka would be Portland. Sure, it's not perfect. It's kind of scattered. Whenever we come across something left behind by somebody, no matter what it is, an object, diary, anything, the person will have dreamt of us while experiencing it. Even just an object is going to have a person's imprint on it. This might be why a psychic might ask for just an object to connect to somebody. So there you have it, the world of Krynn.